Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today, no insights, but we're going to use magical dimension cards and the Gilded Reverie. And then just for fun, I want to use these story cubes. So which one's first? These ones. Magical, gilded, no, not magical. Everything's magical, but the Gilded Reverie first. So, Spirit, what does the collective need to know for today? Hold on. Okay. Okay, so time seems to be an important factor in today's story. So I look over here, and both of these are in reverse. I have the light and the dark. It was like this. And then we had like this clock, this cuckoo clock, which was also in reverse. And then when I looked over here on the left, because I put two on the left, two on the right. And then over here on the right, I have, it's almost like a globe, or I'm seeing like the circle with the moon. And then over here, it's like there's the circle with like a compass or the sun. No, this is an astrological sign. There's like all like Sagittarius. Sagittarius stood out compared to all the other signs, but, and again, it is. And when I look at the Sagittarius symbol, I'm seeing like that archer. It's like an arrow. It's pointing towards something. So I'm hearing truth and time tell all. No matter how cuckoo the situation is, someone can try and hide things and deceive and lie, but everything will come to light. You can't hide truth. And the more and more you try to suppress the light, the more and more this moon, okay, what's this moon telling me? It's a phase. The moon goes through phases. Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing someone hide a secret or trying to suppress something, trying something to do with light and dark, like push the dark down and be like out of sight, out of mind. And the more and more they do that, I feel like around like new moon energy, they feel like they got away with it. But when the full moon comes, I feel like the Sagittarius is like that arrow's pointing at it. It's like you can't hide forever. So I'm seeing someone think that by burying something deep in the depths, a secret, that it would just go away. But it didn't go away, because as time kept going and the planets kept spinning, it's coming back around. And we're in Mercury retrograde right now, and I feel like it's going to reappear for retrograde. Why? Because Mercury retrograde is all about remixing. And anything that kind of starts with like right? Retrograde, re, is usually the words associated with this time. So it could be reorganize, reappear, readjust, reevaluate, restore. I hear restore. Restoration is the word they want to focus on. So what's being restored? So I'm hearing 3. Okay. What is this one? Okay, so the very first one to come out was oneness. The oneness says balance, patience, and the divine masculine. So here we have, I'm getting kind of, I want to say mountain man. And so when I say mountain man, I just see someone who's like very connected to Mother Nature, to Earth. Yeah. The next one we have is magical realms with belief, confidence, and co-creative power. And then the next one to come out was in reverse, and it's contemplation. So this one says silence, knowing, and releasing control. So what I'm getting this like very like mountain man shaman type person who's very connected to the earth energies, that the stars twinkle and they talk. We've got the brown bear there. So I found it's showing me that a little bit after winter, after hibernation, is when most of this time took place. And I see that this tree, it's almost like in the trunk, it almost looks like the body of a woman. And then I see this as the head. It's like the head has become overgrown. There's too much, so they're not quite seeing clearly. And so because they're not really in the right mind frame, it taps into this one now. And so for the magical realms, the main thing that stood out was co-creative power. So since this shaman type earthly man energy isn't quite seeing something clear, I see that they kind of like teamed up, right? Co-creative. I seen they teamed up with something that was kind of new and shiny. It kind of brought like this, I feel like in this one, in this earth walk, they're a very grounded person. Whereas this one comes in, and this lady, she kind of has like an elf look to her, and she's very magical. She kind of brings this, like, look here we have this crystal palace over here. So it's like tapping into the energies of the rocks. Whereas in this one, they kind of sit and enjoy the beauty of the rocks, the grounding of the rocks. But I feel like this energy knows how to tap into like the crystals. And so when I look up here, it's a Merkaba. And I'm seeing that as the light vehicle. So that's a meditation technique on how you can protect yourself as above, so below in your heart. And I'm seeing all this new energy be kind of like exciting and new and something like that. So what do you want to share about this? Okay, I'm being drawn to the color blue. I'm being drawn to the color blue because there's a blue butterfly right here. And then in this energy, all of this, there's blue. And I knew that this is kind of the energy of what it's going to. And then this is kind of like the answer or the redirecting out. And as I focused on those two, both of these cards were blue. So blue, what am I getting? Is it throat chakra? Is it water? What is it? It's all about expressing emotion. It's both of those. And so here I'm being brought to like the shaman who's playing the flute. So I hear music being kind of important for this masculine energy, and I don't think they actually know how to like speak up authentically though, because here we have silence in reverse. This is kind of like what's being buried. So these are two very diverse energies to actually like team up and co-create. So what about the cuckoo clock? Let me actually like tap in and see what this. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this cuckoo clock, and there's like 3 different birds. There's an owl, there's a rooster, and then there's one at the top, and I'm not quite sure which one that is. But there is also a candle being lit, and I feel like that candle is signifying energy and time. There's also an hourglass, and that hourglass is seeping. And so I feel like time is very important here, and it's saying like not to waste time, especially when it comes to like this astrological thing and as this moon phases. And I have no freaking clue where the moon phase is right now. But what I'm getting is we're coming up to this illumination moment that what is up must come down, I'm hearing. And so what does that even mean? What is up must come down. Let me pull one more card. All right, so it was in reverse. and it was isolation. So here we have the wolf, and the wolf is crying out to the moon, to the full moon. So when I read this, it's loneliness, reconnection, and home. So what I get, especially when I heard this flute, I see this energy so much in isolation, especially since winter time. And it's like coming back and and reconnecting to nature. So there's one connection. Woo! Major goosebumps coming through right now. It's intense. This one's intense. I think, Kate, what are they showing me? They're showing me that there was a moment where it was supposed to, this energy was supposed to like speak up. They had met something that kind of came into their world and rocked it and brought a lot of magic. It learned to, rather than just sitting in the environment, learn to tap into the magic and the energy of the environment to add this co-creation of it. But for some reason, I feel like something to do with this being buried. And so the thing that gave me mad goosebumps was when I looked over here, there's like little Buddhas. And so that one is exactly this face that's over here. And this one says silence. So when I pulled this one, they kind of have the same color-ish. These ones are like more pastel, whereas these ones are more vibrant. I'm feeling like disassociated kind of in this energy. So let me get close up. And so there's also in the back of this one, like this little crystal palace, castle, whatever it is. And so what I'm feeling is missing out on this opportunity to actually tap in and learn about the light vehicle and the I don't know, it's just a very safety, protective energy is what this is. And when I keep hearing this like flute playing, I'm getting like, it's such a solemn, lonely cry. So I'm not surprised that this came out, especially with the full moon. I feel like this one, as I said, blue seems to be the color that's coming out. And there's loneliness, and they refuse to admit the loneliness. I feel like that's what's being pushed down. Okay, so what's being pushed down is this sadness and this loneliness, which is the darkness. It's like that being vulnerable and transparent. So here, both of these castles in the background are of light. They're very transparent. There is a need to speak up, but with this contemplation, the silence is in reverse. And so I feel like somebody swallowed their feelings. The one where they swallowed it, I'm feeling it's like a gross pit in my stomach. Mentally, they're like a little bit confused with this overgrown tree because I feel like they've swallowed whatever it is, so it's stuck in the stomach. And what about the stomach? Well, at first they just want to talk about the mind. The mind, because you never up and out, right? You never authentically let things go. You weren't clear on what you're trying to manifest, because this card was all about co-creation. It's a co-creative power, but this co-creative power also brings you confidence and stability in your belief. So now that you've shoved that down, I'm not seeing this energy be as confident in the oneness, right? It kind of, by not speaking up about that emotion, it's taken things out of balance. And so I'm seeing this person now, because they're not in balance, I feel like maybe they were like the most calm, cool, collected person, right, on the surface. I'm seeing the water be like glass. But because they shoved that feeling down, that pit, that heaviness of being able just to say what you want and speak authentically, they're not as patient as they used to be. I feel like waves are coming, and these waves could easily rock the boat. And I think there's like an emotional storm within now, right? Because rather than like clear skies and happiness, it's like thunder and look, there's a tree. And that tree almost looks like there's lightning coming and it just got struck. And that lightning has a little bit to do with like this energy. It's like this energy is around you. It's electric, it's magnetic, it's coming out no matter what. And so if you had taken that, let it infuse you, kind of, right? If you're in your light Merkaba, you take in this extra energy and you can use it to like propel you to higher heights or new something. But I feel like this person, because they're not taking the energy and like cycling through it, right? We kind of, this compass, there's all these different signs, right? There's earth signs, air signs, everything. But we kind of can like, you know, everyone's like, especially on mine, like, hi, I'm Christy, I'm your Aquarius intuitive guide. I'm not just an Aquarius, right? We can kind of embody all signs and things like that. So that's what I'm seeing is like whatever this energy is that kind of gets like surged. Because this here is magical realms. This is like co-creative power. And so it's like taking it within you, transmuting it, right? Cycling it through. So here we have a cycle. Here we have that cycle. Time is usually a cycle. And so if you're not cycling this energy through you, I feel rather than coming in and like empowering everything to turn into something new, it's going to electrocute you. It's going to be like, it's going to be that surge that might even light this on fire and destroy it. It could be destructive energy. So Spirit, oh, that's sad. So what I'm getting in this like loneliness is like a longing for home. This wolf, there's another wolf in this moon, but it's the word home that kind of got it. Because over here at the beginning, I'm picking up so much sadness from this masculine. Like, look, even the bear's giving him a hug. And bears aren't cuddly animals per se. and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like, I don't know, I'm just picking up so much sadness from this. Look at all the crystals in the blue. That crystal is almost like, because it's right on the water, and I feel like that's the emotion in this energy. It's like whatever this loneliness is, whatever it is, that silence that you won't talk about that's keeping you stuck, is like this home feeling. And a lot of the time, because there's a lot of star imagery on here, right, there's the Buddha, and there's like a star in his heart, and both of them, the like hearts on ignited with this energy. Sometimes home for star seeds, they come from like a different place, and you might not find that home physically of what you're looking for. You'll never find that feeling of something physically around you. You could be connected to nature and all this, but there are people who kind of like match home, right? Our souls are from the same area, the same stars or something, same soul purpose. They share that same belief and co-creative power. So when I feel like that's what he's calling out for, is like my soul tribe. And you'll find them, that it's not who you expect it to be, right? There'll be people that just come along and their hearts match your heart. And so I feel like this loneliness or this calling for home is this co-creation with your team. Your team could be your spirit guides, but I'm talking about soul tribe type energy here. And so when these people come and they help build that confidence and bring that spark back to you, you create a new home. I feel like, yeah. In this, I get home is not a place. Home is kind of with a person or with a team of people who share the same heart, the same beliefs, and soul's purpose. There's like, I'm seeing like contracts before you're born. Like, you know that you kind of came here and you're like, I want to help. Everyone has a different purpose. Like, someone might be like, I want to help people free themselves from limiting beliefs. And the other one's like, I want to learn what unconditional love truly is. And another one could be like, I just want to come here and learn to receive, right? We all have these different things. And that's what I feel like when this soul family comes, each of those beliefs and things click. And they don't deplete you, and you don't have to shove things down and pretend to be something that you're not. But I'm getting this loneliness. The only way to really like change this story is to let that heavy pit in the stomach up and out. I lost this shirt. I found it just recently. But what I'm noticing, as I said, there's so much star energy in this, and then there's a bear. So here I've got the Big Dipper and the Little Bear. And so there's a bear here, and there's stars there. And then we got the moon and the moon. So I feel like Big Dipper, or the bear, is important in this story as well. So just let me think about the bear for a second. They tell me to pull one of these cards to kind of go into the bear. Whew. I'm getting mad chills. Yeah, something's been, for someone who used to be very imbalanced, they're not in balance anymore because they stopped listening to their heart. And it's intense. I feel like their heart is just like, woo, you know? And I'm feeling the heart doing a little bit of healing. So I feel like those emotions have been shoved right down into the pit of the stomach. It feels dense and it feels heavy. And I feel like because you haven't really dealt with that, everything that kind of comes your way is intense. It's almost too much because it's not quite in balance. And so I saw once everything kind of comes up and out, I felt that balance kind of come back. So I pulled a card just to be like, what's up with the bear? And I got the Sun card in reverse. And this one, look at the 3 cards that kind of came out. We've got like the compass with the sun in reverse. And then we had the moon. So something to do with the moon. Or the night sky, which is that. So what am I missing? I'm missing something. They say pull one of these ones. Okay. Tell me a little bit message about this bear. Okay, they're like, you said that the bear is associated to the stars, to the Big Dipper. But then you went to this card and you said when the full moon comes. So they're showing this light. It's almost like you shoved this emotion down. And I'm seeing that no matter what, because this energy has gone on too long and it's become way unbalanced. Emotionally, it's taken you for a ride. And now you're no longer confident in your walk on this earth. You're feeling lonely and isolated. And there's a need to take a little bit of control back into your life. I feel like you've been like out of my hands, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. I'm not dealing with this. But only you can really direct that energy. It's bringing it back to that Merkaba. It's for you to actually empower yourself between the light and the dark. So I'm seeing the sun and the moon. The moon I'm feeling is like more of the like star energy. It's more intuition and in-depth navigation. And then the sun is like igniting things around you. To work into this Merkaba is to be above and below, to find it in balance. How can we take it from being destructive and then adding a little bit of light to it? Well, we can add moonlight, starlight, sunlight. I don't care what kind of light you are going to tap into. But I feel like in this one, the best one would be kind of moonlight. The moon is like the one that's a little bit softer than the sun, and it can really help us. It's more like a gentle, even though the dark is scary, I feel like moonlight is always just a little softer. And the moon is usually associated with, based on which story you're going to talk about, but the sun is usually masculine energy. The moon is very feminine. And so it's just more of a feminine energy. Especially as we talk about this one with divine masculine, especially if you can't deal with this waters and this crystal blue in this water, it's intense. So I pulled one more. I said, what did I say? The sun in reverse. And then, so I just pulled one more and we got transformation. It says metamorphosis, synchronicity, and the unexpected. So what about this metamorphosis? The metamorphosis is the main thing that I'm seeing. There's something to do with crystals. And each one I look at is a quartz. So I love quartz. I find that quartz is so underrated and that you can take a quartz. So here's one. One second. Okay. Where was I? We were talking about quartz. And like, this is, well, actually I've got two quartzes here. I've got my heart quartz with all the layers. And then I've got this one that I just bought when I went to go visit my friend. I miss her. Heart you. Hey, heart you. Hope you're doing wonderful, because I know you watch these. But anyways, so this one what I thought was interesting, because there's all about masculine energy. But like quartz works with us on a healing level. Like it just resonates almost at the same frequency. But quartz is also programmable. So you can take this with an intention and you can kind of put, like, I would like to utilize this one for, helping me get to the depth of this, to empower that bear within me. Because I feel like, as this said, silence. Bears are tough, right? I'm just hearing like one like growl, like roar, whatever bears do. And so this transformation, I'm getting a lot of quartz. So let me just show you all the crystal references I see. So over here, we've got the blue crystals. That one I'm getting is aqua aura, which, now goes back to the transformation. Okay, let me show all the ones first. So we got aqua aura. Okay, no, that's where I am. We'll show all the rest of the crystals. If not, I'll forget. Aqua aura it's like a quartz. And then it is a man-made crystal, but it's very cool. And so there is this huge transformation that kind of goes through it. And so they put it into like this very high pressure, high temperature chamber, and they like infuse all these other elements and things into it so that it kind of has like a coating. It makes it look almost this like blue iridescent on top. And aqua aura is so good for emotional, like speaking clearly, those kind of things. I also kind of get, I don't know why, but aqua aura always kind of brings me to like Mary Magdalene energy. And she's just kind of like that person, the divine feminine. So here on this one, we have the masculine energy. And I feel like for the feminine, she's kind of been put through things throughout history, right? So I kind of get almost like this wildness to this feminine energy. That's what I pick up with Mary Magdalene, that she's so divine. I feel like this, we'll even say this one is her, that she's so divine, she's tapped into her things, but she's so used to everyone speaking ill will or trying to suppress that energy. So I feel like that would be such a good crystal of like, especially this masculine isolation and not talking and doing the contemplation, that would be a good crystal that kind of like help express deep emotions that are scary. Anyways, they like infuse this. They're like, I don't know which one, right? Because there's aqua aura, there's lemon aura, I can't even remember, rainbow aura, apple aura, I don't know. There's just so many different names. But it's all these different things. So one could be like copper or titanium or whatever it is. And they like gold, they infuse it. And that's what kind of brings the colors. And the next thing you know, this will have like a pretty color on the outside. But if you were to like take and like scratch it, it actually infuses it all within it. It becomes that. It is a transformation. It's not just like I put on this shirt. Now I'm a new person, because you could take this shirt off, no problem. It has infused this energy within. And so now I'm being brought to talk about the next crystal. Because over here, we got that aqua aura. We got emotional healing that kind of needs to go within this pool. I'm seeing a really sad masculine needing to kind of step into the bear energy. The bear energy, we'll say with the shirt, is all about the starlight, or your guiding star, what you're guided to say, or moonlight. Just adding a little bit of softness to it. The sun can be very harsh. We love lighting your sunshine, but we also love the moon as well. And so the next one to come out is the Merkaba again. As above, so below, within the heart. And so the heart is bringing me now to, this one almost looks like a crystal Buddha to me. Light, crystal, something to do with light and crystals. Liquid light. There's different frequencies of light and crystals. Crystals are like a living liquid that looks solid, right? There are all these atoms that vibrate like, I love. And this one is actually a Kundalini quartz. But look at it. There's like one master one, and then it's almost like all these other ones kind of conjoined and thrive with it. Anyways, then the next crystal to come out is this crystal palace. Do you know what this is bringing me to? This star. There's 2 stars. Okay, there's lots of stars on this, but there's only 2 stars that are shining that I'm seeing when I look at here. Sirius A, Sirius B. And when I think of Sirius, I think of, I want to say Theos, like a light school. And that's what this crystal palace kind of brings me to. And so that light school is just somewhere that's on a different energetic frequency. And when I said that there's parts where home doesn't feel like home, that there's these other places that we kind of have thrived from, it's almost like souls that have gone to that school incarnating on earth. So then you go out on your earth walk and you'll meet these people, and these people have the same beliefs, they have the same lessons or passions or something like that it like lights up your soul. And so that's what I'm seeing, is like bringing that back. But I'm seeing the journey from winter until now. It's bringing it back to the clock. It's like we put all these seeds or people at different spots, and we kind of put them in the darkest lessons. We buried them deep. And, you know, society tells us this is how we're supposed to be. This is how we're supposed to be. And so I see, as it said, time, things being buried, things being shoved. So it's almost like the illusion of being separate from everything and everyone, that you don't really have these connections that make you feel empowered, that you feel seen, that home feeling. There's always this feeling of homesickness and just like missing something, someone. And so I see all these people doing these dark lessons, and then all of a sudden, as the phases keep going, as the clock keeps winding and things like that, you're going to be drawn to the right place at the right time in the right season. And then all of a sudden I see, boom, light. And so from those dark days, it's just going to flip. It's a shift. And so once that shift happens, that's when I see you starting to create a different home. The home that makes your heart happy. So I just want to shake up some story cubes and just see what kind of message wants to come out. Okay, let me put them in here, and then maybe I can actually like show you, and then you can actually see what everything is. Uh-oh, I shook that one up again. What was it? It was on I'm pretty sure it was on the lightning bolt. Okay. This is what I see. And so the main one that kind of stands out is this one. It was like a little speech bubble. Boop, boop, boop. And it's in reverse. It's like, hey, look. It's pretty much just saying the story that we already got. The only one that I need clarification on is this apple and this dice. But other than that, here at the top, we have lightning bolt. And that's that lightning that's hitting that tree. No matter what, you're going to push that down. And one day, you can't hide it anymore. Especially when heavy is meant to be transmuted, there's time for this transformation. You can't avoid things. As it said, truth and time tells all. So then the next one to come out is the moon with the speech bubble. And there's that loneliness. It's like saying, hey, you need to speak up. You need to tell the universe what you're really looking for. I feel like this is actually someone who needs to talk physically to someone as well. Because I keep hearing Bruno Mars now talking to the moon. You could talk to the moon, but that song's all about like missing someone. Then the next one to come is like the earth walk. We got the footprint with the question mark being like, I don't know. I don't really know what to go. And that's more of this oneness. That's all about balance, patience, and for the divine masculine. He's no longer feeling balanced, and that's why it's sideways. Then we have these two masks. The masks and the sight of seeing. And those two masks kind of bring, I'm getting, it's the sun and the moon, but it's also like who we present ourselves to the world, who we bring into our energy, and who people really are underneath it all. And so, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit of deception, right? Because here's a very lonely person who is pretending not to be lonely. But they're like, I'm in balance, everything's great, but they're slowly kind of unraveling. They're no longer really as patient. I feel like this was like the calmest person ever. Like things will come, and I'm hearing rock the boat, but nothing would rock this person. But they're starting to get irked and irritated about little things that used to they would be able to handle. So the main thing out of these story cubes is just what's up with the dice and what's up with the apple. I'm hearing apple of the eye, because there's an eye on these story cubes. And it's like what I'm seeing, we have all these intuitive senses. And intuitively, you like to shove things down. But physically, there's things that we can see, right? The sun lights things up, the moon ignites things, the stars, we're being guided. I feel like that there's something that you saw, and it kind of like sparked that, and it's like, that's it. That's home. That's that home energy of what I've always been kind of like looking for. And you're like, no, like that's a person. Like how can a person be home? Perfect. This one flipped. I was like, how could a person be home? And look at this little galactic family. Do you want to know what it actually says on it though? Galactic guidance, star family, assistance, and cooperation. So this cooperation goes with this co-creative power. These two energies embody this energy. And it flew out. And look at this. Look at their hair. Let me get close. They have like this like hair that's here. I got a little candle here. There's like this loop of hair that's kind of like on their faces, which when I turn it this way looks like a question mark. Remember how that question mark on the story cubes was sideways? And I feel like that's kind of the message. It's like it's going to come to you sideways, sideswiped. It's going to be something that you don't expect. You think it's supposed to be this way. You think that, society or culture or whatever says this is how it's supposed to be, but it's going to show up this way. this energy is coming into this energy. How can we bring the stars and everything and ground them? And then apple of the eye was that. And look, both of them are on the third eye. It's like that question mark on the third eye. There's something to do with sight. And so I feel like a lot of people here worship the sun, right? There's so many cultures that the sun, this whole thing, the zodiac symbols and everything, this compass card is based off of the sun. And again, I'm being drawn to the Sagittarius symbol, and the Sagittarius is all about fire. It's that fiery sun. But the star seeds are connected more to the subtler energies. So everyone can tap into the sun. Everyone can utilize that energy. But it's like those who learn to navigate within are the ones who know how to tap to that guidance, to the team, to the soul family. Because these energies are softer and they're so subtle that you really need to be aligned and imbalanced. And that's what I feel like this masculine energy was like balanced, like feeling earthly balanced. But then this energy comes with the magical realms and it like sideswipes them. And then they learn, oh, I can actually embrace this new energy. And so with that one, it brings this transformation and it kind of brings them a little bit of peace. Whereas it started off very bold and now it's like subtle. I've learned to tap into the moon energy, right? I tell the moon, I speak to the moon, and my soul family comes. And I've learned to utilize transits and cycles. I've learned that when it comes to the sun can burn very hot, but it guides and directs us all. That there's this 12 energies that a lot of us embody. And I feel like those who could do the subtler ones can also tap into all 12 of those as well. I feel like there's just more flexibility. And that's why this cuckoo clock is such a crazy system. I just want to put it up. Look at exactly everything going. There's tons of birds. There's, as I said, the rooster. It's like rise and shine, time to get going. There's an owl, which brings the wisdom that time and cycles bring. There's the candle burning, which is I'm seeing soul. It's like your essence, right? You have your lifeline almost kind of thing. But again, energy is never created nor destroyed. There were 3 birds within this cuckoo clock. And then when I looked over here, there was 3 birds up in the sky. There's one there, and one there. So something to do with 3. That's the co-creation in that one card, where she had like that fireball or whatever. It's like I heard you, me, and then something else. It's like taking 2 things and creating something new is what the significance of the third energy is. And so from that, I see things going from stormy and electrical within to being empowered again, back in balance. I see the sun kind of coming in and being understanding of that energy and things around you. But finally learning to intuitively navigate the subtle realms, the hidden realms. Because especially if you can resonate with having a soul family, soul tribe, coming from the stars, everything I feel like to you is very duality. Like you embody one energy and then the world is a totally different one. And so it could be isolating and lonely, but as that clock, once those clocks all get into alignment, once we kind of decide enough is enough to deal with the shadow work, I feel like, again, the right place at the right time, in the right season, at the right everything. It's almost like I see a petri dish of like perfect conditions, and it will happen at the right time. Apple of the eye. You'll see something, and I see it's going to be like, whoa. Like, you're just going to get sideswiped. Your world's going to get rocked. It's going to cause a storm within. Whatever is meant to be let go of is going to be let go of. But just enjoy it. I feel like quartz is very important in this. There's that light vehicle, Merkaba, learning to navigate and protect the soul. But something to do with healing and your DNA and frequency is what I always associate quartz with. And I feel like there's just going to be this surge that comes through you that will burn away all the dead, right? That tree, it's getting lit up. And the problem with the first energy was like things were, there's the body and this is the mind. The mind was way too much. It's just like such a heavy something. So I feel like that's what kind of gets burnt away is some of the extra leaves. And now it's like, okay, flexibility. It's bringing flexibility back in. And then from there, being able to finally sink down into the heart. Because you can't get into your light Merkaba vehicle without really feeling your heart. And if you have suppressed emotions, you're not able to get into the heart. You have to express that and love that and find that pep in your step again. And so if you've been feeling lonely on your little earth walk, I don't see that phase lasting for too much longer. I see almost the really heavy being shook out, but it's just saying like enjoy I'm seeing it as like a fun ride, right? You're going to an amusement park, you're gonna do this ride called life, and if you feel lonely, it's temporary. Everything's temporary. Nothing lasts forever. And I see your soul tribe coming, and I feel like some of them have come, but you were like, no, I need to be this. I need to be this. And this is what you thought balance was. But by doing that, by not accepting that co-creation at the time, it got you foggy in your mind. It kind of kept you trapped. You weren't able to tap into this co-creative energy. And so I feel like there could be a little bit of rewinding. I don't know. Was that, let me see. Okay. For some, I saw soul family come. They were meant to teach you a lesson. You didn't want to learn that lesson at that time. You didn't kind of whatever in that stuff. And you're like, are they coming back? I don't know if they're coming back, but other tribe members may. Because I don't know what happened in that when it came to soul growth. Maybe it was like people were meant to go on a journey together, but one denied the other. And so that one continued to grow and this one didn't. So now it's just like a misalignment. In some cases, I feel like forgiveness and reconciliation. Was reconciliation on one of these cards? I can't remember. Oh, it is. On this one. On this isolation card. I do feel like with a real, genuine, authentic apology, reconciliation could be a thing. And whatever. The main thing at the end of all this is that I see soul tribe coming. And when they come, I see, okay, I have this deck. I didn't put it upside down, but this one's just been sitting here looking at me. And this one is releasing, purification, spiritual cleansing, and letting go. And so what I saw, because what I kept seeing, maybe it's like shielding her. It feels like she's still shielding herself from like the sun, but I saw it as like open arms. It's like blocking out the sun, because what the sun is saying is too intense, it's too something, it's very much this energy, but too much of this to the point where it's not in balance. And so I see blocking out the sun and just kind of like looking at the moon, at the little bit, at the subtle of the energy. She still take it. Look, this one's like starlight, something to do with starlight. And embracing that in. I feel like there is reconciliation coming or a new soul tribe coming. Either way, it's like the end of the isolation and the loneliness, as long as you deal with that pit in the solar plexus energy. So again, this one was just sitting on this, but I was like, that's the perfect card. That's exactly what I wanted to show. So to wrap it all up, I feel like this is you kind of tapping into the subtle moon energies and that realm. And then that one kind of comes together and starts spinning. This one here says heart chakra. So before it was all cloudy mind, the stomach didn't feel good. It's like spinning those two together to get into the heart, to get into that light vehicle. That's your safety and protection. That safety and protection can take you to really cool places. And those really cool places are like on different dimensions. It's different schools. It's different. That's where home is. And so you can go to this place, kind of tap in, refresh, recharge, restore, and then come back with that new energy. So with that, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.